Welcome to the shit show.
Tom, you know this very well, but it's another edition of the All Elite Wrap-Up. This time for March 27th, 2025. You're Tom. I'm Tim. We're here to talk about AEW. We want to talk to friends. We've got some friends in the chat already that I see. Troubles with Weekly Wrestling Pod says, I'm pumped for the shit show, boys. And we want you to do what Troubles is doing here. One, listen to Troubles with Weekly Wrestling Podcast. That's a fun time. You're going to enjoy that. And then also get in the chat with us live each week. We do this Thursdays. Sometimes we got to do it on like a Wednesday because of, things, right? We're grown-ass men with grown-ass things going on. You can find out all the wins, wheres, and whats if you go to allelitewrapup.com. Subscribe there. It's completely free. It's going to stay that way, but you can donate if you wish. There's donate links up there, but that's when you'll know, what days we're going live. You get a nice little email just once a week that says, hey, we're going live tonight. And you can join us. You can hang out. If you can't join us, there's other links up there like the Blue Sky where you can find us skeeting away furiously into the evening, as we're wont to do. Just skeet, all on the Blue Sky, talking about that AEW. I think we had a good time doing that last night watching Dynamite. I think there was some good stuff in there, right?
Come on.
Good stuff.
Yes.
So, Tom, now that we got all that shit out of the way, right? Everybody can hang out, talk to us, right? Do all that. Oh, you can also aewrapup@gmail.com. Send us an email, right? We'll talk about that as well on the show.
Yeah.
What's up with you, Tom?
Oh,
how you feeling? I know we were talking about work, and work sucks.
No, we weren't. We were talking about, it was, today's the opening day.
Deny.
Yeah. It's the opening day of the Major League Baseball season. And, I tell you what, I'm very excited for the next 161 baseball games plus postseason
All
and
wins
whatnot.
by the Royals, right?
All times wins.
61-1. Starts tomorrow.
We're never going to lose again. Yeah, never lose again. But yeah, so baseball season starting. I love it. We got the Sweet 16, got the NBA playoffs coming up.
K-State women are in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, that's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you got football with the picks and the draft, that's what it's called, and then the trades and all of that. So this is legitimately, since I was a child, my favorite time of the year. People are always like, Christmas fine. I'm like, nope, March and April. I don't fucking like any other time of the year but March and April. This is it right here. Because all the other bullshit's bullshit, right? Because guess what I don't have to do when I watch sports? Buy a gift for my mom, right? I don't have to think about that shit. I just watch. I just enjoy. I just have fun. And so, yeah, it's the best. You don't have to fake. You don't have to fake being excited about a gift. Like, it's a mouse.
Oh, this is really great. Thanks.
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting one of these the other day. That's great. That's awesome. No, this is very useful. Troubles says, my Red Sox got the W, but my grandpa loved the Royals, so go KC.
Well, your grandpa sounds like a smart man.
Yeah.
The Red Sox.
You should listen to Gramps. Respect your elders.
Yeah. Oh, the Red Sox. Hey, man, wasn't it so exciting last year when it was your team and my team, the Royals, and we're coming neck and neck down to the playoffs, and we made it in and you didn't?
Tom found a way to take a nice compliment from Weekly Wrestling.
I'm feeling feisty. Huh?
And said, thanks, but let me
look at here. Look here. I came here for analysis and ass kicking, and I'm all out of analysis. Huh? You want some of this? No, I'm kidding. The Red Sox are a fine team. Who's your favorite Red Sox player?
Until they're not.
Yeah. Who's your favorite Red Sox player, Troubles?
There you go.
Because I interviewed one of an all-time great Red Sox player, Nomar Garciaparra. Interviewed him 2003. No. Interviewed him 2003 after the Royals started 9-0, and I was a junior in high school, and I got to interview the Royals on the field. I got to sit next to Peter Gammons of ESPN and then Frank Bowl of Fox 4,
Yeah.
But I was sitting in the middle as a high school junior, and I was like, I'm the greatest person. Like, I'm never going to fucking lose again.
I'm going to be a famous.
This is it.
Be the
And
next
then I
Ryan
got to,
Seacrest.
well, you know what? And then, I go to school, I get my degree in broadcast journalism, get my dream job right out of college, uh, 810 Sports, and I get fired. Crazy.
And look how far you've climbed since then.
Yeah.
Look at this right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's
get any,
funny.
this is what everybody aspires to. Troubles did say all time is Poppy.
He's good. He's good. I did. He was fun.
Fuck Your Mama 2 times says favorite Red Sox player is Manny and Pedro. He also says, shout out to the best podcast in the world. Bitch, did I stutter?
Pedro, 1999. That could be the greatest pitcher of all time. That 1999 season. Ooh, goddamn, he was good. I did find it interesting. Here's the one thing we'll talk. This is the last thing about baseball that I always wanted to bring up on the podcast. We always talk about Mark McGwire with the big muscles and Barry Bonds with the big muscles.
Yeah, the big muscles.
Right. How interesting though that not other than Roger Clemens, which he sucks, but like I'm led to believe that 5'9", 170-pound Pedro Martinez could throw that ball just as fast every fifth day. And nothing. No, we don't think about him. We think about every baseball hitter, right? Every single baseball hitter, but not the pitchers.
That was probably wheatgrass and kombucha. That's all that was.
I mean, if that works, it works. But Jason Varitek. Oh no, I'm thinking of someone else. Jason Varitek's fine. I'm thinking of the fucking guy that had the bat and he would hold it up here and then he would bring it down. Oh, his batting stance was the shit that makes nightmares. But hey,
hey,
Dynamite. Dynamite was fun last night.
AEW Dynamite was fun last night. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed live skating with folks on Blue Sky along with you, Tom.
Yeah, actually, Jason Varitek fucking rules for punching A-Rod in the face. Love that.
That's always a plus. Yeah. Everybody
Wow.
likes that.
Yeah.
Everybody likes that.
I was a Yankees fan. I still hated A-Rod. A-Rod wasn't a real Yankee. Fuck that guy. Fraud.
Speaking of punchable faces, that guy.
Yeah. He's the Ricochet of baseball. Ricochet's a good person.
Ricochet.
The current, the current.
Right,
Yeah.
Right. No, I like that. Yeah, no, I was really excited with Dynamite last night. I'm very excited to talk to folks here about it in the chat and later, right? Next week, join us live, Skeeton, and send us some emails and all that. But Tom, let's just run through it. What did we get into last night?
We got into all of it. First off, we were at the Roy Wilkins Auditorium in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Granddaddy of them all.
The granddaddy of them all.
I don't understand Minnesota. If anyone's from Minnesota, please write us, or if you're in the chat.
Does anybody understand Minnesota?
What's with Twin Cities?
Minneapolis and St. Paul. It's kind of like how Dallas and Fort Worth are they're two cities, but like it's kind of like Kansas City and Kansas City for, you know what I mean? But we just,
but that's states. That makes sense. There's two different states, but why would you just call it one city?
It just didn't happen that way. There were two cities that grew in.
America sucks. So
well, yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, regardless of politics, how dumb is that? Anyhow. Mark Twain used to always say, love your country always and your politics when they deserve it. I like that quote. That's a good thing to remember. But fuck dirt too. But we kick off with, I'm in rare form tonight. I tell you what, that good. Baseball going. Woo!
Yeah. Yeah, all you had to do is talk about MVP. Baseball and get Tom going.
Bobby Wood Jr. MVP. AEW International Champion Kenny Omega. He kicks off the show and he takes on, what was this guy's nickname? The Vanilla Ice Cream or something?
No, this was Blake Christian. I said Blake Christian looks exactly like guys named Blake and Christian. Is what I think I said on the Discord. Yeah,
but he has a nickname that was like Vanilla Ice Cream or something.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, I thought so.
Catch that.
But anyhow, man. Gross. He looks like your favorite truck driver's favorite truck driver. You know what I mean? Like he has just that face of a smoker. He looks like he smells like divorce and government.
He looks like the kid whose dad left, right?
Yeah. We're gonna be filled with the insults tonight. I love it.
Vanilla Baby? Is that really that guy's nickname?
Yeah, that's what I was like.
No, get out of here.
Yeah.
No.
I saw that and I was like, that's the
No.
weirdest one.
No.
Because he
No.
does the Trey Young thing where he does like the, ooh, I'm ice cold.
Vanilla baby. Dude, you look 32. Like, that's not. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, he
Vanilla
just
baby.
turned 24, but his face turned 36. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But hey, he wrestled Kenny Omega. And they do the wrestle, right?
Yeah, they do the wrestle. There's a lot of wrestle here.
wrestle. And look, Blake Christian, for as much as I'm shitting on him, he's a very good wrestler, obviously.
Of course, yeah, this was well done.
And I believe I know Blake Christian, and correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I think he's a GCW guy. I think that's how I remember first coming across his work, as they say. He's a GCW guy who's coming to GCW, coming to Kansas City. We'll talk about that later. But
Did we get
Kenny
tickets for that
Omega.
yet? Did we get tickets for that yet?
Hadn't gone on sale yet.
Okay.
But we will.
You're watching for that, right? You get the
Oh boy, I got the alerts.
Get them. Get the best ones they got.
I tried to convince
I want shards of glass stuck in my
Well,
ass.
I'm trying to convince my brother-in-law to let me take my goddaughter who's turning 4.
Yes.
That's
Four
the
and front row.
because that's when memories are started, right?
It's
like
the brother-in-law that we're talking about?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, let me talk to him.
Yeah.
Let's get on a group chat and we'll convince him.
Yeah.
We'll bring him on the show.
Because 4 years old is like, if I forced you to think of like, what's your earliest memory? Most likely it's
Right
in
around
that.
there. Yeah.
And if I could be like, my goddaughter, who, man, I can't wait. She has hate in her heart, just like me. I love her so much. She's my favorite. Oh,
Look at all this hate. I love her so much.
I do. There's one of my favorite memories of her is her older sister was wanting the blanket and she had the blanket. And they said, I don't want to say their names, but goddaughter, give the blanket to your older sister. And she goes, okay. And the older sister went to go grab the blanket, but she didn't let go. And she just stared at me and kind of grinned as the older sister's like, she won't let me have it. And she's just like, and she's 3. She's just going, and I'm just fucking, yep, that's it right there. But wrestle.
See, the spirit lives on.
Yep, exactly. But the old wrestle. And Kenny Omega, he wins the wrestle. Wins the match. And then he cuts. Look, Kenny Omega is not a polished promo guy.
Yeah.
But man, is he fun. His ad libs, he's funny on accident. So for example, he talks about how, he wants to wrestle every week, but unfortunately he can't. But when he tells Tony Khan that he does want to wrestle, Tony Khan has to sign on that dotted line, right? And that's fine and stuff. But then here comes old cornball Mike Bailey, right? And he says, hey,
everybody.
Hey, hey-ya! Hey-ya! Hey, hey-ya!
Yeah.
Everyone, hey-ya!
Fucking Mama 2 times says Kenny makes promos for nerds. And I mean, I get what he's saying there. Yeah.
But it's nerdy, but not like man, would you shut the fuck up? For example, when he's talking about being friends, right? Because cornball Mike Bailey here goes, hiya, friends, I'm friend with you. And Kenny Omega's like, look, I don't need friends. I've got a cat at home. Like, I'm good. That's a nerdy thing to say, but it's also fun. You know what I mean? So like, that's what I think is great about him.
Oh, since nerd culture became a lot more like accepted and grown over the last, 20 years, there is this like, there's a definite like spectrum of the nerddom where there's like a cool set of nerds. Like you're the cool nerd, right? And Kenny Omega is one of these guys.
Xavier Woods. He would be another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's another cool nerd. Have nothing in common with him, but I think he's a cool guy.
Right.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Other than wrestling, probably nothing else I've ever seen from that guy.
It's basically nerds that have a little more, like a little less social awkwardness, right? Like,
yeah, I'd agree. Yeah. But old Mike Bailey here. Hi-ya!
You're still nerds, goddammit. You're still nerds.
Yeah. Fucking nerd. Nerd. But I will say this about Mike Bailey. When he decides to be a heel, I'm going to love him because he has the perfect amount of like, you know what the fuck you're doing. And he's just going to, like, when he does go heel, like, what are you talking about? Hi-ya! And it's like, God damn it. I think he's going to be great as a heel.
Tom, in the comment of the night so far, maybe we have a segment now called "Should Have Been a Skeet." This here, Troubles says, Kenny and Speedball's dueling promos was best set in a Magic tournament after the other dude cheated to win.
Here's the thing about that.
That's a good one. Uh-huh.
I'm gonna assume I know what you're talking about because it sounds fun.
I just know Magic is, and yeah, like
I
it's
thought
a
Magic's
nerd card
tricks.
No, the card too. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was talking about like here's a swan. Okay,
Nope.
like the.
I'm assuming he means Magic the Gathering, right?
That's it. Yeah. I'm a little old for that. I remember that being pretty cool when I was like a freshman in college. But I'm saying popular.
No, I know what you mean. No, I know.
It was the like it was the Beanie Babies of the early 2000s, and it was like
it was like that generation's Dungeons and Dragons, right? It was like that kind of cult thing where like everybody's doing this now. If you're not part of the cool kids, right? Like, I don't know how to say this. If you're in the not cool kids club, right? Yeah, it was kind of the
if you can't get into the card games, grab a hacky sack because you ain't got anything else to do with your life. Because
there's a lot of hacky sacking back. Yeah, now that's the crowd I was hanging out with. Boy, man, I could fucking kick that thing up. God. And by myself for
talking about nerds.
Yeah. Listen, I ain't got time for haircuts and fucking baths. I'm out here to
I want to kick this fucking bag of beans up in the air and catch it again.
Trouble says, I played mean hacky sack, my friend. Oh, I know. Yeah. Fucking thing would never hit the ground. Kidding me?
We're having fun tonight. We're gonna have fun tonight. My fun.
We always have fun, goddammit.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. This is gonna be one that's gonna.
Okay.
We're gonna remember
clips for this one. Yeah. I need to find time for clips.
Yeah. My one hacky sack memory is I tried to play it one day, and let's say it was on a Tuesday, right? And I couldn't fucking get it because it was first time ever, and I was like, wait a minute, what? How did fuck you have a curve in your fucking shoe and catch it all with your Doc Martens and all that shit, right? And I was like, okay, hey, I'll whatever, I'll try maybe another time, right? And so I leave and get in my car. I'm in high school. And so then the next day I leave school and the same group of guys are like doing the stuff. And I could tell like they weren't going to invite me again. Right. Mm-hmm. They're like, fuck the guy. Yeah. So we're not going to have him. So I made, so I was going like this way. Right. And I kind of see like, oh, they're not going to say anything to me. So I kind of like make my way eventually like, okay, hey guys, now like I see you, and all that.
Let's kick it.
Well, they're like, they even like kind of do a cold shoulder thing. So like they kick one of them up in the air and I caught it and I just go, and I fucking threw that thing.
Of course.
Said, fuck your beanbag. That's what I used to call it.
Stupid anyway.
Well, no, I called it a beanbag. They used to hate that. I was like, fuck your beanbag. They're like, it's a hacky sack. Fucking beans.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. That's my one memory.
And your mom's an adult escort too. Whatever.
Yeah. Lady of the night. Yeah. Anyhow, let's get back on track with this. So Speedball is saying, Kenny, you're fun. Kenny's saying, nerd. And then Ricochet goes, hey, both you nerds, I'm getting married. Losers, I'm getting laid tonight. What are you guys doing?
Nerd fight.
Yeah. And there we go. That's what we get. We get just nerd off 2025. What do you think of this?
We got to come up with a name for this, right? It's not the triple nerd threat, right? We got to come up with something.
Triple nerd threat though is pretty good.
Yeah, but we're taking ideas, right? Wrapup@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Ricochet, I guess, really did get married.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, if he wants to, who knows? You don't always have to get married. That's all I'm saying.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
He appears once. I think they've been together a while now.
Yeah. You think she's going to be in here? Okay. Tim, you're the ring announcer of the two of us. So gun to your head, right there. Or I think you're this way. Gun to your head. What's her name?
Samantha. Right?
Samantha or
Urban?
Justin.
Oh gosh.
What's it? It's not Gabriel. Justin Gabriel. It's Justin
Roberts.
Yeah, Justin Roberts or Samantha.
Yeah. So I mean, if I'm basing it off what I like in my style, I think I might still go with her. I know like she goes off the traditional path, right? and that's okay, right? That's totally fine. But I think the normal that she does is less annoying than Justin Roberts. I know, you know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Trouble says I'd smash Justin. Wait, that wasn't the question.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah. Some people find him attractive.
Darren K83 says Dick O'Shea got married on the Love Boat. Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, it was an interesting thing he wore. Like that. That's definitely, we're talking about nerds. However, his attire was definitely of that from a person who's in shape, right? You don't wear that if you're fat. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, you certainly, yeah, right, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not wearing that. Like,
I can't wear it.
For
I
one
wish
of those reasons, being that I'm kind of fat, right? I wouldn't be.
Well, I'm just like, I'm also not that good. Like, I'm good looking, but I'm not that kind of good looking.
Trouble says, I thought he looked like Andrew Tate with a chin.
Now, why you gotta take a left turn on a fucking podcast, man? We're all having fun.
Were we? Oh,
I was.
Crossed the lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't. Anyway, you're going to expose
the learning
a 4-year-old to GCW.
Well, that's great. That's going to be an awesome memory. I can't wait.
I will happily help, right? I will help there, and I'll be good stewards, right?
If somehow she can go, and somehow Nick Gage is like, that's my newest fan, I might have to fight her. Nick Gage is mine.
Yeah, Nick Gage is yours. But see, Nick Gage has enough to spread for everybody.
I know, but I'm jealous. You know what I mean? I'm the Nick Gage fan
Put it this way.
family.
Nick Gage leaves something with everybody he meets. You know what I mean? Something from Nick Gage stays with you forever.
It's probably gooey. Hey, but next up is the learning tree.
Yeah.
And
speaking of gooey.
Yeah. And why they cut this fucking promo in the basement of the arena. What the fuck? AEW, whoever's cutting your promos, like, you sell, because I have it, you have backdrops. Fucking use backdrops. I don't. Why we're doing it next to a stack of chairs or fucking just in an empty fucking kitchen?
I think it's supposed to indicate that, like, we caught these people. This wasn't a set-up interview or anything. But why were they in the basement? Are the locker rooms not? Like, this makes AEW look bad.
Yeah, well, and especially with, like, when Renee Paquette is like, I'm backstage and here's fucking, 3 buckets in a chair. Like, that looks stupid.
Some old rags from the
custodian back here. Yeah, so I don't like that. But anyhow,
do all their interviews in the broom closet.
Might as well. It kind of looks like it. But Jericho's down here and he's saying nothing. Basically, he says Bandito, it's mask versus title. But he says it's at Dynasty. And someone brought this up on Blue Sky that I thought was interesting. Don't we have a Ring of Honor pay-per-view coming up? Why wouldn't you just do that there?
Because they probably think they got a Jericho sell tickets.
Oh. Did they tell on themselves, though?
What?
Because hold on. Because I bet you the Ring of Honor pay-per-view is after, it's not this weekend. So it's after Dynasty. So that we know now, even kind of we knew already, but like Bandito beats Jericho. So then at the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, it's a rematch, Bandito versus Jericho, but Bandito's the champion now. You get what I'm saying? Like, they kind of already told on themselves putting this match on Dynasty.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Like, well, you could do a thing where Jericho wins, now Bandito loses the mask, and now we've got Bandito maskless, but Bandito doesn't fit without a mask, right? The name,
right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
a mask when you're Bandito.
Right. Yeah, and this is going to be a throwaway match. No offense to either guy, but it's a throwaway match on Dynasty. But it's the main event of a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Yeah. So, like, mask versus title makes more sense there,
right?
Unless maybe Jericho just fucking misspoke and said the wrong thing. Maybe they were doing it live and he said Dynasty and he meant to say Ring of Honor. I don't know, but
Supercard of Honor is May 2nd, says Darren K83.
Yeah, and what's today's date? March 27th. Yeah, just do it then. Anyhow. But then the next thing,
maybe there's some kind of weird schmaz and we move on, right?
Potentially. Yeah, maybe gravity gets involved somehow.
Yeah.
But then he also says, "Hey, nerds in the back, prove that I'm still,
Yeah,
you
prove
know,
it.
prove
Prove me
it."
that you're still worth a shit to be hanging
Yeah.
around with me, right?
And they're
Show me
like,
something.
"Yeah, well, boy, did they get shown something."
Yeah.
Man, we'll get to that in just a moment. But they take off, and then MJF comes out next. And he cuts down Minnesota because Prince is
Still
from there.
orange.
Yep. He looked better though, I will
He
say.
did
This
look
was the
better. Looked
better of
more.
the
Well, it was less zoomed in, so maybe you just
yeah.
didn't notice.
Maybe that's what he's thinking. He's like, oh, the camera will be this far, so no one will tell him. But it's like, nope. Like, I wonder how many careers were ruined because of HD. You know what I mean? Like standard def. I bet you a lot of people were good looking on television. Then you got in HD, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you're voted off the island or
Yeah.
whatever the reality
Yeah. I
show
wonder,
is.
like, if I might be, halfway decent looking if we had HD. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Or didn't have HD. I mean, standard def. That's what I mean. Yeah. Going back the other way, right? If we were back in the old SD days, we would look like models on here. We need more help than that.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. It's like, I turn down offers from Vogue every day.
Yeah. So MJF cuts a promo here, cutting down Prince, but he brings up Michael Jackson. Hey, not it.
Yeah. Shouldn't, yeah.
In any context, I wouldn't bring him
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Just don't,
And it's 2025. Like, I don't.
Yeah. Well, because he's cutting down
Yeah, I get
Prince,
it.
and Prince and Michael Jackson had the rivalry,
Yeah,
but
I
you could
know.
easily just say Justin Timberlake, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I know he kind of sucks, but not as bad as Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what I
But
mean?
what was
Like,
the record label he beefed with, right? Just say that.
yeah, yeah, Def Jam or something. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's not
Um, Probably. I don't know. Uh,
a revisiting of history and telling a story of somehow Prince being signed to Def Jam. It's a great story that I wouldn't mind seeing.
Russell Simmons. Hey, man, you and the Beastie Boys, you guys can make it. Your opening act, LL Cool J. What?
Prince and Tupac, baby. Let's fucking
Death Row. Oh,
Death
that was
Row.
a fun
Yeah,
one.
let's get him on
Yeah.
Death Row.
Man, Suge Knight is a piece of shit. Hopefully he's doing horrible in prison. Hey, but he goes, I'm gonna answer MVP now. And the MVP comes down to the ring. And this was okay. I want your thoughts on this. So let's slow it down here in a second.
Mm-hmm.
So MVP comes down and MJF says, hey, last time I said I was gonna have a friend, it was Adam Cole. That didn't work out. I don't want friends, but I am in the business of hurting people. And so they go to like shake hands, and then Lashley and Shelton Benjamin come down,
Yeah.
and Lashley's like, they do this kind of off mic too. Because what I thought was interesting is Lashley gets into MJF's face and is like, give it to me. And I thought he was just talking about the microphone, like he was going to then cut a promo.
Right.
But that's not what he wanted. He wanted the card, and Lashley ripped it up and was like, bitch. And MJF does like the perfect, like, I'm standing up to you, but I'm also like, what the fuck's happening? Where he just goes to like his source of like, comfort. And he looks at MVP and he goes, hey, I thought we were cool. And MVP's like, no, we are cool. Like,
Yeah,
we're
exactly,
cool.
Yeah.
And Lashley's like,
We ain't cool. Like he's
I'm
like,
cool
we're
with that guy.
cool. Like,
Yeah. And so MJF leaves the ring. MVP's like, hey, Lashley, calm down. Shelton Benjamin, by the way, is co-signing Lashley, but not also getting in the face of MVP or of MJF, excuse me.
Mhm.
I thought that was interesting, right? It wasn't like a MVP, get the fuck out of the way. We're going to take care of this guy. It was more Lashley's got a problem with them. I kind of side with Lashley, so I'm just going to stay here. And if things go sideways, then I'll jump in. You know what I mean? What'd you think of all this?
No, I agree. There's a lot of layers to this that I thought were done well. And we've been led to believe, and they haven't expressly said this, but like MVP was kind of the de facto manager of this group, right? He was he'd jump in the mix if he's got to, but he's sort of the, the actor and fill in if need be, or the manager and the fill in if need be. So them seeming to have a problem with this seems to indicate, right, maybe there is a bit of a power discrepancy there, right? Like, hey, listen, you're our manager in so much as like you're booking the fucking hotels, right? And like, but you ain't, you know what I mean? You ain't picking new members here without a consensus. That kind of stuff is a nice touch. I'm interested to see how this plays out. If this will wind up with MVP running with the group for a while, or MJF, excuse me, running with the group for a while. You know, it still feels like an odd fit, right? It still would feel, and I know we have said a bunch of times, and it's true, like, as they're saying, like, they've never said this has to be like a black group, right? Like, this
Yeah.
is not like black dudes only.
Right.
But this does feel a little bit like Owen and the Nation, right? Like, it just feels a little off.
My reservation with the pairing is MJF's best work as a heel is when he pushes the envelope.
Yeah.
When you're now standing next to the black team in AEW, now you put yourself in some weird corners where if you say something that might be different, you could say a dumb comment when you're by yourself, no one thinks twice about it. You say the same dumb comment, but you're around different company.
Yeah.
Now it looks different and it hits differently. That's what I'm nervous about.
Also feels odd because like MJF isn't this style of heel that they are trying to be. They're not pulling it off well, like everybody loves them, but like I think that's their goal is to like be intimidating bad guys. And like that's not MJF, right? And so I don't know, man. I don't know how this is going to go because it's not. Somebody brought up the Pinnacle, and it doesn't even feel like that because MJF was like, "I'm leading the Pinnacle.
Right.
These are my guys." That's not what this feels like. This feels like, hey, you want to come in and be one of our boys, right? Like be just
the inner circle,
member. Right? Yeah,
yeah. It felt like
but even
the inner
that
circle
still that was Jericho and his inner circle. Right?
I agree.
Like,
yeah.
This is like I'm getting that they're trying to ascertain or say out loud that like Lashley's like, this isn't a you leading us thing, right? Like we're in this, so if we're bringing a member in, this is like equals.
Yeah. I'm curious. I'm very curious. I think the quickest way we can get out of this is MJF says, "Oh, if you guys aren't all cool with me, then I hate all of you," and then that's how we get into a feud, right? Like the quickest way is he goes, "Hey, I got hurt the last time. I'm not doing this again. So I'm just going to pull the, Band-Aid now.
Each one of these for a run, but
right. Just, I'm going to fight all of them. I don't trust any of you anyhow. Like something like that. Cause if he joins, it feels like a retread of the inner circle.
So what if this is it? What if this is a long play and this is step one of a couple steps of MJF thinks, okay, friendship thing hasn't been working for me, but I'm going to try this again. And then like it goes quickly, goes wrong very quick. And he's like, nope, fuck it. Nope. And then just gets into a fight with him.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
With somebody else, right? And then we do it with somebody else until we get back to, I don't know, Adam Cole or something.
Right. Yeah. Something. Well, I mean, hey, look, that's a tag team. And one thing that you could easily see, at least for me, is he starts running with him. He's doing the same beats that he was doing with Adam Cole. Look, the Adam Cole and the other fucking people,
I know.
Whatever, get rid of that, right? But Adam Cole starts to see from afar that MJF is putting himself down the same thing. And he's like, well, all right, look, I realize how fucked up that was the last time I did this to him. I don't want this to happen to him again. And you can run it back. MJF and Adam Cole versus the Hurt Syndicate.
I want you back. Get that whole kind of run.
Yeah. Cause think of this. Also, more just funsies kind of stuff. What if the Hurt Syndicate target Adam Cole and now all of a sudden MJF's not completely over this?
Yeah. Oh.
We could.
We could go some ways here. We could go some ways. We'll see more. We'll definitely get more of this.
Yeah, and one way hopefully we don't go is with the learning tree, because then Brian Keith comes out here, and brother, every time you open your mouth, you're dumber and dumber. Like
this line about hurt people. Come on. I mean, I was like, all right, yeah. I mean, this is true.
My God. and then Big Bill. Poor guy. You could tell he was like, oh, we're going to do this MVP. Because at first he's like, you guys in the ring. And I can't remember how it goes down. But then MVP is just saying, hey, bitch, you're a bitch,
Yeah.
And at first Big Bill's like, oh, okay. And then he gets like called bitch again. And then finally he's like, no, like you guys. But then by then it was too late, right? It was already a 10-8 round and he couldn't stand back up. And to the point where the Hurt Syndicate get out of the ring and just
Yeah.
sort of like, we're walking by
Yeah, they're
you.
just gonna walk right by you because we're not intimidated by
Like,
you.
get
Yeah.
out of here, you know?
So maybe that's something. Maybe Jericho's gonna be like, "You're pathetic," and lean into them more, and we're getting rid of this learning tree thing here.
Potentially, actually, that is, I never considered that. Yeah, I really thought it was just MVP maybe going into business for himself, saying, like, I don't like Jericho. I don't like anyone who's walking around with Jericho. Fuck all you guys in real life. I ain't doing this shit.
It does feel like it's on site with MVP when he sees Jericho. Like from
Yeah.
everything he ever says online, it feels like he's
Yeah.
like, "Bitch."
Yeah. Apparently they talked it out, but again, I've talked it out plenty of times. And
It feels like it's like we talked it out, but all he's got to do is say one wrong thing.
yeah, yeah. Say the thing again, and yeah, we're back to square one, right?
Yeah. Where's your wife, you motherfucker?
Yeah, exactly. You bitch. All right, but MVP says, "Hey, why don't you guys win a match, and then we'll give you an opportunity for the tag titles. We'll see." Then we
Win a
move on.
match. Was the he's like, "How about
Yeah,
you?
win a match.
Hey, qualify. Win a single goddamn match."
Yeah. Yeah. Then we get into some in-ring action, and it's Kyle Fletcher with Don Callis taking on Brody King. Two questions I have for you here, Tim, before we get into the match itself. One, I mentioned this to you. Don Callis's noise got rid of it apparently, because now they each have a song.
I get the songs are a bit more like hyping for the crowd and stuff. People like the songs. And so maybe that's a conscious decision, right? To let these guys have their own characters, right? And not be burdened by the Don Callis noise. But that Don Callis noise is a heat magnet, isn't it? You don't
It's the best.
like it.
You know it. Because even if you don't know wrestling, you're like, I don't fucking like this noise.
What is
like,
this?
Yeah, these guys suck. And it's memorable, right? Because you'd be like, oh, of all the bad guys, who did you not like? Well, I didn't like whoever had that noise, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's the easiest thing to remember, too, when you leave. Second question, Brody King just walking out by himself.
Yeah,
so
what happened to this group that he had going on?
Kyle Fletcher has Don Callis, Brody King, old Ozzy broke his ankle or whatever, and then Julia Hart, who was his real like pal. Where's she? I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, and I mean the match was fine here, right? Both these guys are good at what they're doing. Kyle Fletcher looks like a goddamn action figure these days, and Brody's always hype, right? Like the crowd's always behind it. But again, it just felt like filler in the end to me. But
yeah, you know, Brody King's entrance fucking rules. But if we really want to get crazy with it, let's get some dogs. Let's get some legitimate dogs walking out there. Oh, you know, like he could have Julia Hart walk him back or whatever, but get these fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
dogs on chains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he attacks someone backstage with a dog, like he lets a dog go.
Oh, I bet the liability on that. Oh, the insurance.
Hey, if Scott Steiner can walk out with a lion, Brody King can walk out with a pit bull. Like, come on now. You know what I mean?
Whoever okayed Scott Steiner walking out with a lion was not a smart person either. Like, it may have worked out. Okay.
Yeah.
But
maybe. But, you know, again,
take your pants off.
Huh? Let's be real about this shit.
Wrong, take your pants off. I was looking for take your pants
yeah.
off and lay on that bench.
Yeah.
But same, there we go.
Yeah. Same energy.
Yeah,
So Brody King ends up losing to Kyle
take
Fletcher.
your pants off is a phrase you can only hear on this podcast.
I mean, yeah. No. I haven't said that a million times. So Kyle Fletcher beats Brody King, and then they go to beat him up again because Mark Davis comes out and they're going to kick him. And so then Powerhouse Hobbs walks out, and I don't get what we did here. Because maybe we went to commercial. I didn't write it down. But Powerhouse Hobbs.
It was a match all of a sudden. Right?
Yeah. Powerhouse Hobbs comes out and we get security like, no. Okay, but now. Like.
Well, so I think they had a match scheduled, maybe, right?
Right, but like, then just go into
Why
it.
didn't you let them? Yeah, I know. It was a weird
ring
looking.
the fucking bells.
Well, this one also kind of felt like filler, right? Like, I love me some Powerhouse Hobbs, but I still feel like we're just stalling with him here. We're not really doing much. There's not much to the character. It's just everybody likes him, right? Send him out there. Like, okay, but that's going to fade after a little bit, right? Like, we got to do something about it.
Fun thing we could do. We were speaking earlier about but if the learning tree dissolves, One line from Big Bill was, "Hey, when I lost the tag team championships, I didn't get pinned.
Yeah.
It was this other guy. So I want another rematch with this guy, Brian Keith. Well, if they lose, what if Big Bill goes, I know who can finally beat him with me, Powerhouse Hobbs. And then we do this like, you know, better
Big
together than
power
separate.
run. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a fuck this guy, but we're going to win the matches, you know? Like that could be
Yeah.
something
Yep.
potentially.
You remember how the bar started out? They were like,
Yeah, same way.
fuck you, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, they were like trying to outdo each other a little, in the, right?
Mhm.
Because they had done a best of 7 or something, right? And
Yeah.
they were like, yeah.
Then they got to be a tag team somehow, whatever. Yeah, I forget how that happened. But yeah, then they became a tag team. You know, another fun thing, we love saying meet. If you did Hurt Syndicate versus Powerhouse Hobbs and Big Bill versus Murder Machines,
Yeah.
that's a lot of weight.
I'm telling you, a meat division, wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, because even if you got dissolved, not dissolved, but say you got the tag team championships on someone else, and you just the 6 people that I mentioned there, they just all do a tournament.
Yeah, right.
Would love that too.
Right.
Who would you book to win it? So it's Powerhouse Hobbs, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, Big Bill, uh, Brian Cage, Lance Archer.
Brody King in this thing.
I mean, we could. Let's do 7. Yeah, why not? Well, then we need 8.
Right now I'm going Powerhouse Hobbs. I feel like he's sort of leading the meat charge right now. He's the one kind of like really making sure that thing stays alive. And I feel like he kind of needs something, right, to kind of really get going. And I would give him that. I would have him be the inaugural meat champion of the world. I don't even know what we'd call this thing.
Well, what would be funny is like if it was like called the super heavyweight or whatever, and then like the first person to really challenge for it was like a Joey Janela. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is this guy? He's like, oh, I can do it. Well, I can beat them all. You know.
Speaking of Joey Janela, you sent me a clip.
Yeah, he
him getting his ass kicked by a fan.
Yeah, but he tried.
Oh man, Johnny Hungy in the meat match.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, fucking perfect. Yes, that's the 8th one. So you add Brody King, then you add John Silver, and you do a promo with all of them.
You would do. Here's what you can do. You could do a meat invitational, right, and have that be similar to like the Continental Classic. Have this be a 8-man round robin. It's like the undisputed meatiest man in AEW.
Because you could do meat without calling it meat. You could have a fun sponsorship with Chef Boyardee or, you know what I mean?
Arby's.
Super heavyweight. Yeah, Arby's. Yeah.
They love wrestling.
Super heavyweight championship sponsored by Arby's. We've got the meat. And then there you go. You know, say, all right, let's keep it going. So Powerhouse Hobbs gets the victory. Then we go backstage and Lexi Nair is with the patriarchy, specifically Nick Wayne, his mother.
Patriarchy without the
and Kip Sabian. Yeah. Yes. God bless you. And Nick Wayne says, hey, I'm starting to understand this now, Lexi. Ooh. I know why Christian did what he did at Revolution. But I'm going to wait to speak to him face to face. But last week, you saw how a plan goes down when it's properly ran. Kip Sabian the entire time just kept on going like,
I didn't
what
sign
are we
for
doing?
this. Like,
What the fuck are we doing here? You know?
Yeah. Mama Wayne, fuck your mom 2 times, does with a heart and hard eyes emojis. But she also was a little kind of like, this fucking just happened? Like, who? You know what I mean? Like, did you know he was going to say that shit? So, yeah. Interesting.
But she was proud of him. She was proud of him. She was like, hey, that's my boy.
Nick Wayne is getting a little, right? We're going to get a showdown here. He's getting the adolescent boy getting angry at his father run here.
Well, and you know what Christian Cage has to do to put him in line?
What? Oh,
goes to get but he's got to get the oldest brother to take him out. And he goes and gets Luchasaurus.
God. If he's back and does that, this is the best thing out of the storyline.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, you were my favorite son. But as we all know, you weren't the first son. And he gets Kill Switch to come out and
Fucking roof will blow off place if that guy shows up. Oh, they better do a surprise return for him if he ever comes back, right? Like I don't want this like, and in 7 days, Kill Switch return. Like, no, I want you to surprise me with this one because I want to cry.
And it's got to be,
yeah.
No offense to him, his acting or anything like that, but it's got to be straightforward. I don't want the who's he gonna choke because like everyone always knows how that we can see it. It's got to be he's coming here to kill Nick or he's coming here to kill Christian, like right from the jump, like right there. That's how it needs to go down.
Fuck your mama 2 times says, you know what my name is. Hi, Mama Wayne. Says fuck your mama 2 times. Yeah. Yeah. I did not put that together when he had first said it only makes sense. That's just good advertising. Like, you know what the deal is.
Let's talk about my favorite thing that happened last night.
Yeah.
Renee Paquette is backstage and she's interviewing Hangman Adam Page. And before he even really says anything, Swerve walks up and is like, did you say you're really going to fuck with my match? And Hangman, to his credit, took off his jacket. He's like, bitch, did I stutter? Yeah, I'm going to fuck you over.
Yeah, right. He's like, yeah, man, fuck you.
It's always going to be this way.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what did you think I meant by never, motherfucker?
Yeah, because to his credit, Swerve was like, I thought we were good.
Yeah.
Hangman's like, it's never going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
No, because he wasn't apologetic, like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have said it. He was just like, yeah, no, it's always going to be
always. Yeah.
me hating you.
Yeah.
What happens from here? What do you think? What do you got?
We have to see Hangman at least try, right? He's
going to try. Remember that?
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy.
But, like, he's not going to not try to stop Swerve from winning this thing, right? He may not be effective, right? But he's going to try.
I don't know. The hard thing is that's such an enticing thing to just put out there 2 weeks before a match between Swerve and Jon Moxley.
What if you did this? What if you did this? What if he comes out and he's like, all right, Swerve, you're going to fucking get it. And then he fucking does something to Moxley instead. Everybody's like, what the fuck, right? Swerve gets the thing. And then they realize later, like, they just did this as like, fuck Moxley. He was talking shit on all of us. Swerve's getting it, but now I get the fucking match at whatever, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was thinking is, I don't know timeline off the top of my head because I got a dumb brain. It's big, but it's dumb sometimes.
Big and dumb, right?
Big and dumb. Man, if I haven't been called that before.
So big, though.
The biggest.
So big, yeah.
The biggest, yeah. But if that's the title match at All In.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly, right. We could even make it like a Texas Death Match 2 or whatever, right? Like make it something big, right?
Yeah, and
we'll be in Texas.
Yeah, right, exactly. And we'll get to we'll say it now, and then we'll get to more of the promo. But if you recall, Swerve Strickland said, you are in Texas Death Match to Moxley. I win Texas Death Match.
Yeah,
like
that's good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very interested because the thing that I was saying about it's weird to do this 2 weeks before the match is if you had enough time and let's just say Swerve starts to really show that he's a good guy fighting for AEW, Hangman could be, all right, look, yeah, fuck Moxley. He's the worst of all of us. So we got to take him out.
But boy, you get that. Yeah.
But now it's me and you. But you can't really do that in a week.
Putting a pause, right? We're doing a ceasefire, he'll say, right? Because I advocate for a ceasefire. And then he should,
Mm-hmm.
What he could say.
But you can't do that. Yeah, but you can't do that in a week's time, right? Like what can change from bitch, did I stutter?
Hit it hard. You have to hit it at Collision. You'd have to hit it the next Dynamite.
Yeah.
And then the next Collision, and then that's still, not giving.
That's still rushing it. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm very, very interested in that. And again, go back to the first thing that we saw since their cage match was Hangman trying to find Swerve in his locker room. And we don't really know what came about from that, except for he couldn't find him.
Yeah. Be
So,
interesting.
Be very
Could be interesting if you had like a new pillars of AEW that don't like each other all work together to screw over Moxley in this moment. Let's say MJF is in there, Swerve, Hangman, I don't know who else you'd throw in there, but they make sure
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy, yeah.
Yeah.
And they all make sure Moxley's, and then they're all just kind of staring at each other like, ew, I didn't like doing that with you, but like,
Yeah.
at least he's fucking done.
Right? Yeah.
Good
I love it. I think that's a great idea. Okay, we go to another interview, but this one was pre-taped. Tony Schiavone doesn't get a word in and tries to interview Rated FTR.
Yeah.
And Dax goes,
even though Taz complimented him, he was like, you did a really
yeah,
good
he's
job.
a great word. That's perfect. But Dax goes, hey, I want to stop you. I need to apologize. He talks with his hands a lot. I'm not trying to do a Trump here, but he does a lot of like.
First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to apologize.
Yeah. First thing.
He's like,
first thing I want to. He does a lot of this.
And
Yeah. And this was fun because Dax was like, look, we took our eye off the ball, helping this turd trying to win the championship, which he didn't do.
The way they spoke about these things was very good, though. Him footing that in, he was like, look, we took time to like help support him and his cause. And it just like, wait. Like, that's not what we said. That's not what that was about. Like, we didn't like, I didn't say, come work for me. Like, I was here helping you. And it like, you just,
Well, because that was his point is Copeland says, hey, remember, I came here because they put fucking bags over your heads.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I didn't say like, I'm ready for the title. Help me, boys. I was like, my boys are going to die. Like,
I'm going to help you out. And then,
but Dax didn't like let off that, right? Like he can't, like he hit it again later. Like he was just kind of like, well, now that we're done helping him, now we can focus on our tag team thing. But then Edge was like, no.
Yeah,
we do trios, right? Yeah. So Cash said that, right?
It was Hair FTR.
Yeah,
Hair FTR says, hey, everyone, these two are my best friends, and I ain't sitting here if I don't have friends.
Yeah.
Fucking cool. Piss your pants, nerd. Like, fucking, I can't be here if I don't have others helping me. Yeah, that's how fucking life works. You dope. Anyhow, and he's just, and Dax and Copeland are just be like, hey, fuck that guy, right? Yeah, fuck that guy, right?
That'd be kind of fun if the heel turn is them on Hair
Dax?
FTR. And they're just I'm the new Hair FTR.
Yeah. The new Hair FTR. Yeah. We're shaving your head. There can't be two bald FTRs.
It's just an upgrade of you. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they go through their because I did want to mention this. So they kind of have an understanding, right? And that's when Bald FTR is like, okay, so we're all good here. So then Hurt Syndicate, I think, and that's when Hair FTR goes, no, wait, hold on. Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
Trios, because that's the Death Riders. Because that is, again, if we're all in, like, they're all telling the truth, Hair FTR is saying,
yeah,
fuck these guys. Let's still take something away from them. We can do it together. So I get that. And then Bald FTR is like, okay.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, fine. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Top guys out, right? They make the match and he goes, top guys out. And then Copeland's like, wait a minute. What about Rated FTR out? And Bald FTR is like, man, the fuck, sure, whatever. Taking my catchphrase too?
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Admittedly, it sounds stupider that way.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why are you just a top guy also? Like, you're a top guy? Cope?
Yeah. Well, of course it comes from Copeland. You know what I mean? He's of the age of, like, Copeland screams that he still watches, like, reruns of the Tom Green episode. You know what I mean? Or Tom Green show.
He watches MTV's Singled Out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jenny McCarthy. Yeah. Where's Carmen Electra? Dude, guys, this is the one where Jenny leaves and Carmen Electra comes in.
Yeah. He watches those game shows where they had like the speed or like the blind dates that they like would just pull out of a van, right?
Yeah.
Suspecting girls, right?
Yeah. Which I watched one. So
the Lance Archer one? Did you see that one? Where he was
No, yes, I know. That's a real one. That's a real one.
Yeah.
So there's a guy who's trying to recreate Flavor of Love, and it's called Could Have Been Love, and his name is Drewski. He's a like influencer comedian
Yeah, I
guy,
think I know
right?
who that is. Yeah. Okay.
But he brings on these women, but he does the thing where like they get off the bus and it's like, I'm 24 and all this and stuff. But like it's the most absurd stuff. One of them was like she jumps off the bus and like lands on the ground and they do like the stop and then they show the facts. And it was like still lives with her girlfriend, is pregnant, serving 4 months probation. And it's just like it's the best, yeah.
She from Independence?
Yeah. Come from Raytown driving to Independence? What the fuck? Where are we? Oh, so yeah, the Copeland is still stuck in the 90s.
Uh-huh.
Like,
They
I
said
love
he's Fuck Your Mom 2 times said he's definitely a Kids in the Hall fan.
Yeah. Like I love the Foo Fighters. I still see them when they come in
Mhm.
concert,
Mhm.
although I haven't seen them since unfortunately the drummer Taylor passed away. But it feels like Copeland listens to him because that's the last time he listened to new music, right? Like I could tell you new band since Foo Fighters. I don't know if he could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what he strikes me as. But we'll see. Then, so I guess April 6th, at Dynasty, trios champs or trios titles, right? Cool. Good to see all those guys get involved. We'll see what happens. Then we go back into the ring. We're still talking, Tim, because then we get Prince Nana and Swerve. And Swerve says, I'm calling out John Moxley.
Get out here,
Moxley.
bitch. Like if you
John
got
Moxley
any balls, you'll be out here right now.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna come out there by myself then. Oh, I'm so angry. Oh, I got the shoulders."
Does Moxley know how like over animated this
yeah,
is? Like,
or what that is? What is it?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Because it feels as if, peeking behind the curtain, it feels as if he saw Randy Orton do his like head thing,
Yeah, like
and was like, "That's cool, but what could I do?" And that's not cool.
It does feel like if you were like arms out, like ready to like, you know what I mean, getting a fucking bear fight, right? You know what I mean, with somebody like, but he's just dropped his arms and is kind of doing that. And I'm like, you really walk around like that? It feels like your chiropractor told you need to straighten up when you walk, right? Because that's your problem. That's why your back is sore. And so he's like doing that, right?
Yeah, doing this right here,
Yeah.
1 and 2 and 1 and 2. But yeah, so he walks out there. Well, he goes, I'm walking out there by myself, right? Ooh. I'm here to fight. We're here to cut promos and fist fight. I'm all out of words. Ooh, you know. And we end this segment
what
with
hit me last night though.
A stick.
Well, as much as this Death Riders thing, and he has the new song, like I missed the Wild Thing.
Wild Thing's cool for when
Yeah, I know, but he's got to be a face for it. But like,
yeah,
so it's just a different aura. Crowd.
Yeah, if this was taken to what I think we kind of envisioned when he first did the promo with Tony Schiavone, where it said, "This isn't your company anymore," that entrance and song fucking works.
Yeah.
But for what he is, Wild Thing's better. Yeah,
Wild Thing is cool.
So Swerve is like, "Hey, you're a bitch,
yeah.
right?" and was it? And then here comes Moxley, and he's like, "Hey, all this industry's come to now is social media influencer and stunt doubles and talent agencies." He's like, "I like what you are. Like, you're what I like about this business, but you ain't got it." And that's where it's just like, brother, go back 365 days. He was it.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, he was.
I hate when we do you don't have what it takes when he's already done it.
Yeah.
Already did it.
Well, it's one thing you could say you don't have what it takes to beat me, right? You only got that because it wasn't me. Yeah.
But that's not what he said, because he's like, do you know what it's like when you're tired and you're like, yeah, he does. He did it.
Yeah.
And he beat Samoa Joe. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like so that kind of lost on me. But then Swerve Strickland, that's when I was telling him from earlier. He's like, "Oh, you think you're so cool? You think you're so badass? You are in Texas Death Matches. I win Texas Death Matches." And that's where Hangman's like, "Hey, what the fuck?" You know?
Yeah.
And So we're starting to get kind of like face to face.
Well, the line he said too was right where he said he was like, "Meanwhile, I'll keep being Swerve Strickland, and you keep playing John Moxley on TV, some
Yeah.
shit like that." Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Which that's a fun line.
yeah.
All the while, Claudio standing behind Prince Nana.
That shit was great.
And
He's
Prince Nana was
just like, I like how Nana played. He's like, I know he's back there, but I ain't gonna fucking. If he's gonna look, I'm not running now, right? Like
Yeah.
he's gonna, like this is. If he's gonna do something, it's gonna happen. So like, I'm not giving
Yeah.
him the pleasure of fucking, you know what I mean? Like
Chasing me down.
scared, yeah. So
Yeah.
you
So
gotta play it cool there, right? You got to be like, whatever.
Gonna keep drinking my coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally cool with it.
Yep.
So we get the face to face, and then Marina Shafir comes out with like something, right? A chair or something like that. And here comes Willow. And Willow's like, I hate you, bitch. I'm gonna beat your ass till we're both dead. Like, even if you die first, I'm still gonna beat your dead body up, right? And I thought that was interesting. Not what she said, obviously, she didn't say that. But what I think is interesting is how Willow went from I'm helping Copeland to, well, I'm also helping Swerve because
Yeah.
my beef is
Just
with her
with Marina, yeah,
and
right?
this whole stuff. Yeah.
The thing is, though, we're not getting enough of this, right? I need Willow to speak on this now, right? I need her to cut a promo and be like, I'm murdering you.
Well, so here's what I thought was the coolest thing is so they get this whole stare down for the pictures and all the stuff, right? And then they kind of try to like separate. And then Marina Shafir like jumps the apron and is like, Willow's not looking at me. I'm gonna beat her up.
Yeah.
And Willow's like, no, I'm gonna fight you. And the guys are like, hey,
ladies.
Well, I'll fight you if I have to, but let's get these women apart. Hey. Like they were the ones that were about it in this segment. They were ready to kill each other. I like that part. That was the coolest part, I thought. And that's how we end it, is a pull apart. And I guess next week it's going to be a mixed tag match where it's going to be Marina and Moxley versus Swerve and Willow.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Fuck Your Mama 2 times says Swerve used that line Mox used on Cena when he was Ambrose. Did he say that to him? Did Ambrose say to Cena, like, you keep playing John Cena on TV?
Who knows? I like
it doesn't
Dean
make
Ambrose.
as much sense, though, because, like, that's his real name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moxley was cool in the sense that I remember him, but I couldn't tell you a thing he did.
Dean Ambrose, yeah.
Or Dean Ambrose, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I remember when the Shield first started, I was like, that's the guy I like the most. I was like, Ambrose has like the fucking, I felt like he was going to be something, but I agree. They never gave him good, like anything to work with, right? In WWE, right?
Well, remember how I kept trying to pitch that he should be the White Godfather? Because you remember he had the slick hair. It's like, that should be the white, sleazy Godfather. Yeah. I still stand by it. That would have been fun. It would have been hilarious. I would have
still roll with that gimmick. That could be his name.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now he doesn't have the hair. He had the slick back hair with the like.
But like if you get him some fur coats, right?
Yeah.
Have him be, right? Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to be like, listen.
But he had the grease lightning
back
kind of
here.
stuff.
I got you covered. Right? He's running the streets back there, and
Pac could do that. Actually, Pac would look good doing that.
Yeah, being like the mob boss back there,
but still in his tights. He still never wears clothes.
Yeah, never. And hair's always wet.
Might wear a coat, but that's it. Yeah, might wear a mink coat, but that's it.
But under that will be the underwear and the
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what it needs to be. All right, let's.
You see him in first class. That's what he'll be wearing.
I hope so. I hope I run into him. If he's wearing clothes, I'm gonna boo him. I'll boo him. Boo! It's like I'm a baby face now. You're wearing clothes, pussy.
Yeah, boo!
Take your jeans off.
Yeah.
Take your pants off, huh? Let's be real about this shit.
You know? It comes in handy a lot. Yeah, I say this once a week.
Hell yeah. That's great.
Well, you can also tell them.
You guys should be punched in your dicks or vaginas. Hell yeah. They'll stand by that too.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about how baby faces are assholes. Because we go backstage and apparently Shibata just has a camera where they're just walking. I didn't understand. Shibata got a camera to then just walk backwards.
Is he on a fucking rig? What is going on here?
Or like, why?
I wouldn't do that. I would be walking beside my friends, maybe, right? Like
or
at
put
best,
me in it, you
or
know what I
maybe
mean?
doing the thing. But at most, I might be like holding it sideways when walking. I'm not going to walk backwards filming this thing, especially in that setting. It's one thing if it's like, hey, cut this, like run the camera while I cut this promo on fill in the blank dickhead, right?
Right.
It's like, hey, this Sunday I'm going to punch you in the nuts and give you a titty twister, right? That's different. But they were just acting like nobody else was in the room, right? Like I didn't know it was Shibata for a moment, right? Like until we said something.
Yeah. And Samoa Joe and Hook are talking, and Joe's like, hey man, why did you like hold on to that choke so long on Max Caster? And he's like, he's a bitch.
He says he's a fun guy to choke out.
Yeah, he's like a fun guy to choke out. Yeah. And Joe's like, well, hey, look, there he is.
Yeah,
and he walks up, and the top flight guys.
Max Caster was trying to tell them to break up, right? He was like, you
should
go solo.
Look at me. You haven't seen that other idiot here since we broke up. So
I love too that they were kind of like, I don't know if that's what happened, actually. Like, you don't really, like, you're a chump.
And then Joe just goes, I'm going to choke him.
Those guys reacted nothing at all to. They were just kind of like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah. Glad someone ended this conversation.
Yeah, I was really getting tired of this guy talking to me.
And that's what we do. We just end that. So,
well, Joe like chokes him out and he's like, I see what you're saying.
My only thought here.
So we said that's where like the Joe and the Hook thing plays well, right? When they're kind of acting as like don't take things too seriously, but we're gonna murder you if you cross us, guys. The Shibata thing is a weird mix in with it, right? I know it lends you a easy cameraman, and now you've got a third wrestler, but like it feels like he's the Brandon Cutler of this group right now.
I think he needs to be more like, I don't do anything, kind of like how Pac is with the Death Riders. We're like, if you just look at him, you're like, why is that guy in there, right? But then you get to know him, and you're like, oh no, I totally get it.
So he's over there with the camera all the time, but he's not saying much when people are like, what is he here for? And they can just be like, he's here to document. You know what I mean? Like, that's just it, right? Like,
or they could be like, oh, well, you think your friend's so tough? And like, please don't talk about him.
Yeah.
Like, hey man,
listen,
like,
you don't want this. You listen.
Don't.
I'm a problem.
Yeah.
You don't really want to.
Yeah. You're going to end up waking up in a hospital if you fight me. You're going to end up going to watch your own funeral from hell.
You keep fucking with me, you'll wind up in a hospital. You fuck with him, you'll wind up in that same hospital, but you'll have nightmares that you'll never lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so you don't want that smoke.
Right. Yeah. That's where I would do with him. It's just like hey, just keep it to me and Hook. Okay.
Right.
Just keep it here.
We're having fun and games here, but we're all in trouble if you get him angry.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That would be how I would do it. Again, another promo. After this, another promo. I did not realize how much promo we had. Renee is backstage and she's talking to Jay White. And basically it's just like, Ospreay, Hangman, beat you up.
Yeah, it's kind of,
I guess we just had to have him on there, right? Just like, hey, don't forget about it. You know? So, speaking of...
I'd forgot he was on until you said this. And I was like, oh yeah, we did do that.
Well, speaking of something we didn't necessarily need to have, Top Flight beat up two skinny guys. And then...
Yeah, and then argued with two skinny guys in the crowd.
Oh, I kind of checked out after that. Did they mess with old
the
Bowser jackets?
Yeah, they didn't have the Bowser jackets, but yeah, so they like did this thing. They were like holding up after they won. They were like holding up the ropes, and they were like, "Come on in." And to those guys' credit, Leo Rush and whomever, right? They were like, "We're right here, right? Like we're fucking right. Like you can fucking come here." And so they did, and then they did a fucking security if I could separate them or something if I remember correctly. So yeah.
Okay. Let's again act like it's all serious here. This is where continuity. There needs to be a continuity producer in AEW. God knows they don't have it in WWE because they don't fucking care. But they do in AEW. But this is where you need continuity. So Big Bill and Brian Keith can walk up to
them.
Can walk up to Hurt Syndicate and be like, you're a bitch. But then when two guys under 6 foot are like, we want to fight you. Well, hey, you're in the crowd, so now we got to push you back. Why be in the crowd, dummies? Walk 7 feet that way and through the entrance, and then you're like, doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Who's running this fucking place?
I don't know. Someone with schizophrenic tendencies, like he's maybe high on drugs, which I heard are cool. Next up, we get Takeshita, and he beats up Mark Briscoe. Not really much to talk about, except for it was really fun. I will say this was a good match. Good match. Had the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Beat, beat, beat.
Yep.
Wrestle.
Yeah, we got Don Callis to talk, He's
and
seizing.
At this point, you brought it to my attention. We had a Don Callis Jr. in the crowd who was just like, all right,
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, that was great.
I want as many Don Callis cosplay as we can get. Right?
Well, I saw before the last pay-per-view, a few weeks before that, there was a girl that was like in black and white as Tony Storm.
Yes.
Like that was fucking crazy. Yeah. Do
she
that.
did a real good job. There was some girl who did the Don Callis one time too. Yeah.
Yeah, she had like the bald cap with the
with
line
the
on her head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, so Takeshita wins, and we'll see what happens from there. So far, Don Callis guys coming out looking like they're about that business. Then what happened? Death Riders say, FTR, you don't challenge us, we'll challenge you.
Oh, their fresh, clean white shirts on.
Except for
Pac. No shirt.
Yep. And then, here we go. Follow up from the earlier segment. Hurt Syndicate are backstage, and some girl walks up and was like, hey, can we get a word? And they're like, don't bother us. But like the camera guy doesn't leave. So again, and that's splitting hairs. That one's being me of a jerk. I'm being too much of a jerk here.
Yeah.
But
you always roll footage, right? So yeah.
Exactly. But MVP's like, what does he say here? He goes, you guys got the time off. I don't get time off. And we've been looking to add a fourth member. So I'm trying to make a move. And Shelton Benja goes, MJF has a reputation. And Bobby Lashley just goes, I don't like him.
Yeah.
I don't like the fucking
Makes
guy.
sense, right? Yeah. Like, there's plenty of people think exactly that, right? About that character, right? Like, I don't like that fucking guy.
Yeah. And MVP goes, hey,
to their credit, if we're in a faction, like if you were just like, hey, I added a third member and it was a guy like MJF, like, you didn't think to like at least discuss this with me, right? Like, what I mean?
And to their kind of their attitude is they also haven't been here since day one. So all they really know is what they've seen in the last handful of months, right? Like they haven't been here for they haven't seen the kangaroo kick and the, they don't
know this guy's got chops. They don't know that he
summer of friendship and all of that stuff, right? Like they just know him as this asshole who beats up on Jeff Jarrett,
Yeah.
Which
I mean, don't get me wrong, they're probably like, that's good, but like
that's why they're like, we don't hate him.
Yeah.
Like we don't hate
understand.
The guy.
Like,
Yeah. He tried to fight Hangman, which dumb move, but then he also beat up Jeff Jarrett, which isn't that bad.
Like that. Yeah, we like that.
Yeah. So that's why it makes sense. Yeah. MVP though says, hey, let's talk about this later. Next up, let's talk about Big Bill and old Brian Keith. Okay, cool.
Yay.
Then we get to our main event. Another women's match. And this time it's tag match. And we get Megan Bain and Penelope Ford taking on Thunder Tits.
Because we missed talking about that.
Yeah.
Because she was like, because Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm are together, and she's like, Thunder Tits. She's like, no, God, no. Thunder Storm.
Nope. Now it's Thunder Tits.
Not anymore. Yeah.
And
Tits.
And to her credit, Thunder Rosa was like, all right. So by the time we get to the match, she's like, Thunder Tits. Like,
Well, we got a Thunder Tits, and that's what I skated. I said, look, Thunder, you only get that in wrestling. And that's why wrestling is the only legitimate form of art.
Exactly.
It's the only place you're going to get a Thunder Tits chant.
In a compliment form.
Yes.
Right? Not like a Mad Men 1950s way.
Yeah.
Like this is a pro women.
The only place I would imagine you might be able to hear it is at like a roller derby.
Yeah. Man, have you ever been to a roller derby?
I have not been to a roller derby live, but the DSA goes there occasionally. Like it's after
at Memorial Hall.
Yeah. Yep.
I love it. Oh man,
Yep.
we used to run
I'll have
those,
to check one of
and
these out.
it was so weird because I was like, because I almost was like a 1930s pro wrestling fan where I'm like, so
Uh-huh.
is this real or is this fake or is what's
Right.
going on? Because they
Uh-huh.
fucking really hit each
Man,
other.
they really go into it. Yeah.
But then sometimes it is real. So sometimes it is a shoot, but sometimes you
Well,
can
they know,
tell
yeah,
it's not.
they know what part of the shtick is there, right? But then it's kind of one of those where it's like, hey, listen, you know what I mean? Like, it's probably like with wrestling, it was like, hey, you flung me a little hard. It's time for a receipt, motherfucker. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
yeah,
and some of the what I learned because then I had a coworker and she did it. She was like, "No, some of them we don't know. So like some of them we legitimately just will figure it out, like see who
yeah,
wins.
yeah,
Some of them though, for a story, they'll go to the next week. But like a couple, like if, especially like you're starting out, it's a legit like competition, which that was
yeah.
interesting.
Well, I mean, I can only imagine some of it's like, let's see what gets over here, and you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah, yeah, it was fun. I
call
like
in the
it.
ring, brother.
Yeah, if they go to a thunder tits to a roller derby, I'll go with you guys. That's fun. I
Yeah.
love them.
Yeah, I haven't been like so they have this event where they go all hang out, every month
Mhm.
and meet up. And then they were like, hey, after that, you guys want to go to roller derby again? And I was like, you motherfuckers been going to roller derby?
Hell
Like,
yeah,
go to one of these fucking,
love
you guys
them.
got a group chat?
uh, all right, so here we go. We got Megan Bain, Penelope Ford, Thunder Rosa,
Thunder
Timeless
Tits.
Tony Storm, Thunder Tits.
If
Megan
they don't
Bain,
have a
Penelope
Thunder
Ford.
Tits shirt by
Yeah.
today, they're just stupid. They're not doing it right.
Well, Megan Bain, Penelope Ford did not have, you know, a name by now because they've teamed. This
Yeah,
is more
right.
than once. So, what would you call them?
I don't know. But the whole thing is, to me, this is Megan Bain, right? This is just
But
like
I
at
like
best.
Penelope Ford.
Yeah, but she's the Harvey Whippleman here, right? Like this is
Right.
yeah,
Because what I like about this is essentially she takes the ass kicking. Megan Bain
yeah,
comes in there. Obviously, she's going to take a little bit of an ass kicking herself, but she gets the victory. She pins Tony Storm. And what I like about Penelope Ford is the first one up is Penelope Ford, and she's like, "Do you see her? Do you
yeah,
see her?
exactly.
That's us. That's
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
Me, her,
yeah.
me,
She's so
her."
big and good.
Yeah,
We won. Yeah.
yeah. I think I,
No, I agree. I would like. I don't. But like to me, I don't think you make a mixed team name because this is about Megan Bain.
true. You know where you could go? Don't want to copy it beat for beat because then everyone would know exactly what would happen. But remember when China had the cat? Remember when China
Yes.
and the
Yeah.
cat was just a little of
Yes.
that, like slowly
She
over
starts doing a little
time?
PD pump gimmick.
Yeah, yeah. She just slowly over time, she dyes her hair,
The mini
that brown
sus.
color. Yeah. Yeah. The half moon or the half sun or something. Cause right,
The
doesn't
mini
Megan
sus. It's
Bang?
the mega sus. So
Yeah,
you make her
Megan.
the mini sus.
Yeah, mega sun, mini suns. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I think that's great.
Then we could redo the fucking numbers promo with that, right? You get the yes. Come on, Tony Khan. I'm telling you, you should hire us.
Dude. Oh my God. You could legitimately do it on Samoa Joe.
You could, yes.
Dude,
You could. You could even have him in the back being like, "God damn it, the fuck!" No, it's what am I going to say to her? Like,
yeah, because oh my God. Because if you recall, in the promo, Scott Steiner has Petey Williams, and then what's her name? The girl that
yeah,
was in that too. Role reversal, right? You could have Samoa Joe and then they're doing it on Samoa Joe, and
yeah,
Joe's like,
yeah.
"Oh, fuck." Like, so
Fuck
you
did I
shoot
do?
it the same
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
and then he's there. Yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah, I need
That
mini
would-
sus sitting there doing the curls and being
yeah,
like, "Wait a minute, that math doesn't check out." Right? Like,
yeah,
the fuck is this guy talking about?
yeah.
Yeah.
Carry the one, yeah. That would be fucking you have Samoa Joe. God damn it. Like, oh man. All right. So yeah, as mentioned, Megan Bain pins Timeless Tony Storm. So Megan Bain and Penelope Ford defeat former AEW Women's Champions Thunder Rosa and current champion Tony Storm. What do we think about that?
And I don't know. We've got picks next week. but it's not hard for me to believe that we could get a Goldberg type run where Tony Storm, you tried your best, but nobody was stopping Megan Bayne in this run here.
I kind of hope it is that for two reasons. One, what else is Tony Storm going to do?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And two, if you do the Umaga, right, push all the way to John Cena and then he loses and then who the fuck cares about Umaga kind of thing? If you get Megan Bayne all the way up here, then she loses Tony Storm. Well, then who the fuck cares about Megan Bayne?
So, and with Tony Storm, we always have the out. I know we all like the timeless Tony Storm, but she can stay that same kind of zany, witty weirdness and change the times, right? So we've talked about this where we could go with an 80s timeless Tony Storm. We can go with a 50s timeless Tony Storm. We can change it up. So like all that takes is a crisis of faith from losing, right? So we could go that route, or she could stay this movies version, 1920s silent film version and just be crazy and upset about it or something. Like there's ways we go with this, but I think you're right. We're not going to get the hype for Megan Bayne that she has now without changing something in the future, right? If we don't hit this now, we're not going to, again, have her not talking and be this hyped, right?
Yeah.
So, like, we've got to do it now. I feel like you guys
And to your point, one thing that we could keep Tony Storm still timeless, but changing is if she loses to the Megasis, Megan Bayne, well, now she's got to play a different character. Right? So you could have her Sharknado, whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to take her out as
now she's got a challenge. Like, so now she goes back into the BC times, right?
Right. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, she changes into whatever it is.
Cleopatra all of a sudden, and she's right.
Yep. I mean, she did the Mariah May. Remember when she acted like Mariah May? So we've seen her do it before. I think we should do that. Yeah, that would be where I would go. But we'll see. We got picks next week. We got one more Dynamite, one more Collision, and then another Collision.
Shirt. I'm going to win these.
No, you're going to keep it.
Manifest. No, I'm going to win.
I don't even know what that means.
Yep.
I've ate already. Dinner was a couple hours ago. Man, I was festive.
I haven't fixed a manifold since 82.
Yeah. So that was the Dynamite. We got Collision coming up Saturday. We got Mercedes Moné, I think, in action. We got some other fun stuff happening. So we're picking up right where we left off.
I'm excited.
Full steam ahead.
I am excited. I'm excited for what happens next. We're essentially I'm going to go home show next Dynamite, right? Because then we'll be doing the Dynasty that weekend, right? So it should be an exciting week next week. So we want you all to join us, right? We want you to get here live with us, talk to us like Fuck Your Mama 2 times, Troubles with Weekly Wrestling. Derek83 was in there, and if anybody else was in there and I missed you, I'm sorry, but join us next week. Hit us up on the aewrapup@gmail.com if you want to send an email, alleatwrapup.com for all the links. Tom, this was a fun show. Glad you hung out with me here and talk some AEW. And,
baseball.
And baseball. Yeah. And baseball.
Take your pants off, huh? Let's be real about this shit.
Time.